Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. So in this video we are going to take a look at one of the latest units to get his EZA, the physical Super Saiyan Trunks Kid. So this unit got a pretty good EZA. You can see the video on how to do his EZA up on my channel. But just to take a look at the unit overall, obviously he became a physical type lead, which is pretty good for the ultimate clash. He stacks attack and defense for 6 turns on a super attack, and then his passive became attack and defense of 100% at the start of a turn, plus an additional attack of 100% when performing a super attack, chance of performing a critical hit plus 18%, reduces damage received by 18%, and all allies attack and defense by 18% when there is a Goten Kid attacking in the same turn or a Krillin attacking in the same turn. So this is a pretty interesting kind of passive. Obviously it's following on that trend. They're kind of adding lower levels of damage reduction to a lot of units to accommodate for the harder events, just to stop them getting one shot basically. And from a build perspective, I think you definitely want to build this guy into probably a mix. I favor more additionals than crits due to the fact that this defense can stack quite high with that 6-turn stacking. But if you want to go for more crits over defense, then you're welcome to. He does have crit in his passive, and the way you want to play him means you're going to have that crit active a lot. But beyond that, yeah, it's up to you. But in terms of links, we obviously have quite a few good links. We have Super Saiyan, Budding Warrior, Golden Warrior, Shocking Speed, and quite a few just decent links in general that are going to make him link up pretty decently with some pure Saiyans and hybrid Saiyans, but he's definitely going to be one that you're going to want to link up on a youth or gifted warriors team. That's going to be his strongest category. So yeah, but we will take a look at him sitting amongst 2 different teams. He has royal lineage, which makes him okay on a Vegeta family team. Obviously helps him out there in terms of ki. But a pretty good unit, and let's take a look at how he performs. So in this we are running a double youth lead. Obviously here we are going to partner him up with the Int Goten. We're not going to partner him up with the AGL one because we kind of want to look at them in different videos. In terms of the best partner for him, the Int Goten or the AGL Goten is going to be your go-to unit. Preferably you want to mix him up with the Int one. The Int and the Tech Goten and Trunks respectively are better tanks due to their massive damage reduction that they get essentially after super attacking. But you could definitely put the Trunks or the other Goten up as a tank. They just need a couple turns to get that defense rocking and rolling. But beyond that, they're pretty good. You can run this Trunks pretty effectively on a gifted warriors team. Or on a youth team. I think that's going to be where he shines brightest. You could run him on a Super Saiyan team as well, obviously, or a movie heroes team. But wherever you run him, you're going to want to obviously run him with a Go-10 as much as possible. You could run him on a Vegeta family team and run the Strength Krillin to activate his passive under the SS4 Vegeta. But that's, not going to be entirely necessary. And so with this team, obviously we have a little bit of support here, so we're going to take a look at that. We'll obviously see him with the B-Pan active as well. And we're just going to get a pretty good look at Trunks' performance overall. This is a Rainbow Trunks, so this is, barring link leveling, obviously this is the best Trunks you're going to be able to find, so it's going to give us a pretty high level look at his stats. So 100k defense, pretty solid. We've got 30% support here from the Beats Great Saiyan. And yeah, he's looking pretty good. Obviously the links are not leveled, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. And he also currently is getting pretty much his full passive. One thing you are going to, popping an item for missions. One thing you are going to want to keep in mind, especially for this Trunks, is that he stacks his defense for 6 turns. So we're going to see that defensive number shoot up, which is going to be quite good and interesting to see. But we'll compare him to this Goten. This Goten has 3 dupes, so 2.5 million. He's going to give him the 30% buff as well, which is one of the benefits of running him with the Goten. And Trunks is going to hit a solid 4 million in return. So that's a really good amount, really good attack stat. Obviously, if you link level Trunks, he's probably going to be hitting well over 4 million in the first turn if he's linked with Goten. And I think for a rainbow level card, it's easy 8 nowadays. That's really kind of the metric. You know, a lot of people, 4 million is just that level. I think also this card's very niche. He does have requirements. You do have to run him with a Goten to kind of get the full benefit of him. So he is somewhat limited basically to youth or gifted warriors or super saiyans or movie heroes, which are already strong lineups. So he needs to be an equally strong card to kind of show his hand. On the physical team, he's going to struggle a tiny bit, but you can run Prime Battle Krillin, which will activate his passive as well. So there is definitely some room for this Trunks to function on multiple teams. You can use him for multiple EZAs, SBRs, anything like that. So definitely a solid choice, I want to say. And if you do have him, you should EZA him. He's only going to help out your box, Ultimate Challenge, Ultimate Clash, SBRs, ESBRs. He's a really solid unit. So you'll see here his defense will shoot up a lot. We're looking at 130, which is really good. Obviously, we still have some support. Well, we don't have the support active here because we are only fighting one enemy. So 130k is him without support, which is really good. He's not going to get the attack buff from Goten because we want him to be able to attack first. And 3.5 million. So if he had some support there, if he had Goten attacking first, he definitely would have cracked the 4 mil mark. But yeah, looking really good. 130k defense, 3.5 million and 3.9 million. So we're starting to get a good idea of where this Trunks is at. Obviously, this is a rainbow Trunks, so please bear in mind that this is, you know, top level performance or the top level performance of this card. But it's still really good. It's really good to see him running so well. One benefit of him is obviously he can link with the new Goten and Trunks card that leads the Gifted Warriors category. Obviously, because that card contains Goten, Trunks, Krillin in it, it's going to activate his full passive, and he's a decent linking partner for them. So having a whole bunch of these Goten and Trunks cards is going to make some really powerful teams, especially when the same name update drops. So yeah, we're really going to have some interesting combinations and things happening there. So that's going to be really cool and interesting to see. And I'll probably take a look at that when the same name update drops. So here, we're going to be able to get the full buff again. We're going to have the Goten take out the Krillin. We'll have Trunks, who's now at 175k defense without support again. No defensive support here. So we've seen 100, 130, and 175. So at Rainbow level, he's definitely quite strong. We've got the active skill done from B-Pan. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a monstrous attack stat here. He's going to get the full buff from Goten. He's got a lot of link levels activated. He's got the buff from B-Pan. This is, you know, barring link leveling and some other shenanigans, like maybe a double turn buff or items, this is definitely going to be the highest you're going to see a non-link leveled Rainbow Star Trunks hit. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. 3 million from Goten, very, very good. He's going to take out Krillin for us. Thank goodness he didn't super attack there. He probably would have killed them as well if he got a crit. And 5.3 million, a very solid attack stat, very impressive, more than solid, you know, a super impressive attack stat. And yeah, nothing really wrong to say there. Obviously, he would have stacked his defense again, so we're looking at close to 200k defense after attacking, 20% or 18% damage reduction, 18% chance to crit. Just before hidden potential system, just a really, really, really good card. And with the youth team getting so many upgrades, with Gotenks being such a good leader, with SS3 Gotenks getting his EZA coming out soon, with Pan's EZA, You just, you know, really looking solid with this team and with this Trunks. So yeah, definitely looking good so far. We'll try him out on a Super Saiyan team next. He will be paired with Goten again. The reason why I'm not showing, like I won't show a Goten or a Trunks that's not paired with their reciprocal unit, is because for team building purposes, yes, maybe you'll use Trunks in a bind on a physical team or something like that. And it'll be interesting to see how he rolls, but there's a reason why they make the passives like this. So I think it's always best to see how the unit performs with the toolkit and the way they designed the unit to perform. It doesn't help. It's the equivalent of taking a unit that needs a nuking unit, giving them one orb and saying, look how bad they are. As much as it may interest people from, you know, people who say they want to see the full range of a unit's performance, realistically, nuking units or, you know, any unit that has a design, you're going to want to play into, whether that's from the way you build your team or the limitations that are placed on your team. That is the inherent cost of using these units. So you're just going to want to take a look at that. But we are getting a pretty good starting point here. 125k defense. We do have the support from the Gohan here. Hopefully this doesn't kill the Boo. It might. So we'll just have to take a look at that. But yeah, 125k defense with support. So obviously Trunks is starting to look really good with some support there, and you know, if you link level him, he could be close to 130k. So really, Trunks' starting defense at a Rambo level is nothing to be concerned about. We did unfortunately kill Boo there with Goten, so we're not going to be able to get another look at the attack stat for Trunks. I actually screw up like the first two attack rotations here. I think I miss an attack with Trunks each time, but you know what, it's okay. The nice thing about the Super Saiyan team, obviously you can still run them with Goten, but you have a little bit more of your classic support options here. You have this Trunks, the physical EZA Father Son Gallic Gun Trunks, who's a good support. You have the movie hero Gohan support, so you have some decent options. The World Tournament Gohan as well is a solid superclass support, so there are some decent options for you to run on the Super Saiyan team. It is just one of those teams that does run slightly better in terms of its support options than the youth category. Youth only really has the Great Saiyaman beat, so I wouldn't really suggest using at this current point in time. And it has the strength Gotenks, which is really awesome for its SBR and multiple enemy content, but beyond that, there's really no need to run him if you're fighting a single boss type enemy or anything like that. His passive won't kick in. So yeah, youth at this current point in time is a little bit limited on its support category units. So it would be really nice to see them bring out some solid support options for the youth category. I think that'll really help the category a lot and really just kind of push it to a better level, so to say. But yeah, other than that, looking really good here. I think, yeah, we've gotten a bit unlucky in not seeing as much of the Trunks as we would like. But at the same time, we saw a lot of them in the first fight, the first Dokkan event. So I think at this point, we're just getting a good solid look at his numbers and kind of the teams we can run. Obviously, one of the limitations on the Super Saiyan team is currently that this Goku is pretty much the only solid leader for that team. Otherwise, you need the LR. And this Goku is pretty good. I mean, I like the Strength Goku. Some people don't like him. I think he's an underrated card. I think especially if you have dupes in him, he can be a real powerhouse. But I think the Namek Saga team's just not there yet. But fortunately, we're going to get a good look at Trunks and Goten now. So this is going to be really good for us. So we have support on the rotation. As you can see, we've got the Goten in the first slot here. We'll get the attack buff. We've got 122k defense, which makes sense since we have 125 with 40% support. And we'll see a really good attack stat here from the Kid Trunks. And I think we'll probably kill the Boo here. So yeah, but that's okay. It's going to be good to see. So we'll see the attack stat that he rocks up with here, 3.9 million. It's technically his first attack of the fight. So yeah, really good, solid defense, and yeah, more than impressed with his performance. Even though we only got one attack off here, we did see his defense, at least with support, was sitting well over the 100k threshold. So yeah, really impressed with Trunks overall. And we'll take a look at his links, and then just take a look at who his best linking buddies are, and what they can do for Trunks in terms of linking up together. So just to go through the Trunks again, obviously a physical type lead. Obviously has that stacking of attack and defense on 6 turns, which we saw how powerful that is once he gets it going. Got all the way up to 175k defense and still had a couple turns to go in terms of stacking. His passive, of course, we know what that does. The extra benefits that come from having a Goten and a Krillin on the team are quite apparent from how he performs when he runs with them. Plus their build synergy and the fact that they do an attack boost on their super attack is going to be super helpful. But then yeah, in terms of links, obviously one of the most important links is Super Saiyan. That's going to be one of the ones you're really going to want to get. Golden Warrior is also okay. Budding Warrior is probably one of the harder links, but is not a necessary link, but it's a link that's really going to help him out. So let's just take a look at how we go. So we've got Prepared for Battle, solid key link between Hybrid Saiyans and Pure Saiyans, Super Saiyan, a really common attack link, and Golden Warrior. So as you can see, options on that front are not going to be limited. Obviously the youth options in terms of the AGL Goten and the Int Goten, who are your best options overall. But there are plenty of Super Saiyan options to run. There's some physical options for the physical team that you can run with him, which is also obviously really good. And yeah, just overall not too limited there. That's going to be his generic kind of build. Then we have the Innocence. Obviously taking a look at that, there's a couple Gotenks there. Obviously you can't link with the Tech Trunks, but there's a couple Gotenks that you can add him to. So he's a solid 4-key link with Super Saiyan Gotenks as well. And I think that overall is, really good. The fact that you can link up with some Gotenks, the fact that you can link up with some Gotens. Obviously by design he should be able to, but I mean it's still really good either way, just to have him link up there. Then we have Shattering the Limit. So obviously he can link up a little bit better with Shattering the Limit units, and he's got a couple options there. The Trunks on the Vegeta family team is a solid support for him. But just taking a look at these units, obviously he still has some really solid alternate options. Having both Shattering the Limit and Prepared for Battle really makes a unit have a varied key build and allows them to just link up with a variety of units. But then the Innocence is going to be a #1 link for this card. Obviously now we're looking in a little bit of the stranger territory, but he does link up well with any of these units with the Innocence, or at least decently enough that he has a key link there with Prepared for Battle and the Innocence. And then obviously we have Budding Warrior, which will be limited to him and the Goten pretty much, but at the same time that's going to be a really solid link for him in terms of attack production. So yeah, overall, as you can see, from a linking point of view, he does link alright with some special pose units and some of the Pepe Girls units, but he's really going to link the best with Super Saiyan Goten units and some Super Saiyan Gotenks units. But otherwise, let me know how you're finding him in the comments below, and if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers and bye.